Revenge.
Hey everyone, get ready for a giant-sized dose of The Walking Dead. This video will cover most of the major news and updates that have occurred in the Walking Dead universe over the last few weeks, as well as some info that most people have forgotten about and what all of this might mean moving forward for Morgan, Rick, Carl, Carol, and everyone else just trying to make it by in the apocalypse. Warning, beyond this point there are spoilers for people who are not up to date on both Walking Dead series and the comics. The first thing we want to discuss is the brand new trailer for the back half of Season 8. Although Carl's alleged impending death is the main topic of almost every Dead discussion, there's barely any reference to Carl except in the first shot. This shot should look familiar to observant fans as it matches the picture released by EW about a month ago. Rick and Michonne are dragging Carl through a burning Alexandria. Given the discussion in the sewers with Dwight from the extended mid-season premiere scene, we're pretty sure they're trying to get him to the hilltop, which coincidentally is where Father Gabriel and the good doctor are most likely escaping to.
It's not too late, they'll take you back.
The next shot shows Daryl leading a team of survivors into the swamps. From the first trailer, we know that Sadiq is with him, and here we also see Tara, Rosita, and some other red shirts bringing up the rear. Here we see Maggie with pretty much the angriest look she's ever had on the show, leading other Hilltop members possibly to the gates or to her prisoners of war. This next shot confirms that at least Michonne makes it to the Hilltop along with Enid, whose fate was uncertain after running into the Oceanside community in a bad way back in the mid-season finale.
The Saviors are coming.
Enid's warning of the Saviors coming transitions into a shot showing a sizable army of Saviors being led by Negan. In the comics, leading up to the final battle of All-Out War, Negan and the Saviors created their own version of biological warfare by coating their arrows and other weapons with walker guts. We think this will happen in The Last Stand, as Negan knows that Rick and the other communities still have fight left in them, as the following shot shows Negan most likely contemplating his next move. These clips are exciting for us as they show Rick and Michonne going through a shipping container to almost certainly enter the Garbage People's community to settle some unfinished business, although it could also be some kind of secret entrance into the sanctuary. Now we cut to the unkillable Morgan, who is leading a group of walkers probably into the kingdom, possibly to distract Gavin and the Saviors in some sort of rescue attempt for Ezekiel. Here we see Eugene in the back half of Season 8 for the first time, and he's holding up a bullet. We know he has the ability to manufacture new bullets, and it appears he's still helping the Saviors. We've only seen him make one other bullet in the past, and are not sure of how many he realistically could produce, but we just hope when the time is right, Eugene does the right thing for Rick and the other communities. This shot transitions into a Negan line about his people coming.
For my people, they are coming.
This next shot is a little confusing as Dwight is standing next to Simon. Did Dwight manage to somehow keep his cover? Simon is armed and Dwight is not. Is Dwight his prisoner? That clip leads us into Dwight running through the woods and what appears to be Daryl aiming his crossbow at him, but we think this might just be a misdirect. Dwight has already committed to the Alexandrians and earned their trust. Why would he be running? Here we see a badass Maniac Morgan action shot killing a walker in some kind of industrial room. We've already seen Daryl and Sadiq in the swamps, but we haven't seen these slimy walkers emerging from the water up until now. Next we see a repeat shot from the last trailer where Carol was ducking for cover from gunfire. We think that this is the kingdom during some sort of rescue attempt, but no real way to tell. Here we see Gavin getting awfully close to a very angry King Ezekiel. Next up is another clip that adds to the Dwight situation confusion. Tara has a pistol pressed up against his temple. We believe this is due to her beef with him for killing Denise, and doesn't have to do with his newfound loyalty, as he committed to Rick and company back in the mid-season finale when he gunned down his own men.
This is where you die.
This chilling line by Rick is delivered in some sort of basement or tunnel. We want to flag this line up because it goes against the reason Gimple gave for killing Carl. If Rick is still hell-bent on killing Negan, what did Carl's supposed death change? Next we see Carol in the woods looking a bit lost and worried. We know anyone can die in this show, but hope that Killer Carol still has more brains to stab in the Walking Dead universe. Here we see Michonne shutting the gates to what appears to be Alexandria, as the Hilltop's gates are wooden on the inside. Next up we see Rosita struggling pretty hard with one of the Swamp Thing walkers. Here we see the Garbage People talking to Simon and some armed Saviors. Are they about to fight, or is Simon enlisting their cooperation for The Last Stand? Next, we see Rick at a grave. There was also a shot of Rick at a grave in the first Season 8B trailer, but this one is different. This looks exactly like Glenn and Abraham's grave and is most likely a confirmation that Rick also ends up in the hilltop. Did Carl make it there too? Here we see Maggie most likely on her path of vengeance, aiming a gun at someone. This shot shows Enid crying. Is she reacting to the news of Carl's bite? Maybe. We think it's possible that Aaron may have been executed in retaliation for the Oceanside incident, but that Enid was spared. We haven't seen any shots of Aaron since the mid-season finale. Could Aaron's grave be the one Rick stands over in the first trailer? The last shot of this trailer is an amazing one of Rick through the flames of possibly Alexandria or some other location that gets destroyed during the war. The trailer ends with the new banner art for the second half of Season 8 released last week, which shows Rick, Michonne, and Daryl fighting on top of what appears to be a trash heap. Notice the garbage can and old pallets. Is the last stand in the garbage people's junkyard? We think that's a strong possibility, given we've seen Simon there and what looks like Rick and Michonne entering the same location. The extended 82-minute mid-season premiere supposedly centers around Carl's death. The episode will be titled Honor, and the description states Rick faces new difficulties after a battle. Meanwhile, the fight continues in other communities as core members face hard decisions.
I thought we don't give up.
In some brighter news, Chandler Riggs bought a flamethrower from Elon Musk. Hopefully we get to see some footage of him using it sometime soon, regardless of Carl's fate. Next, we want to talk about a mural that went up in Brooklyn last month. Done by a talented artist, it's a really cool look at the back half of the season. We see most of the main cast, Carl included, with Negan off to the left and the statement, "My mercy prevails over my wrath." This fits with the reason for Carl's death that Gimple gave back in December, but in the live action from the just-released trailer, there seems to be a contradiction as Rick doesn't sound too merciful there.
This is where you die.
Since this is an artist rendition, we can't really obtain any new story details, but we wanted to take a second to focus on the walker to the left. Maybe this is just artistic interpretation, but to us that looks like it could possibly be a whisperer. The skin around the eyes and mouth don't seem to be attached to the face. Is this a subtle tease to the whisperers? We think it's possible, but only time will tell. Now we want to backtrack to some news that most people probably forgot about long ago, Maria Bello. Over a year ago, Bello said in a statement a producer friend of hers would be writing a part for her in Season 8. Maria's statement is far from an official confirmation, but she has no record of lying or making things up, and we don't think she'd have anything to gain by doing this here. Who could she play? Some people think it's Magna, a leader of a smaller group that ends up in Alexandria after All Out War in the comics. We don't think this is the case. Magna was much younger than Maria Bello, and adding her in possibly at the end of the season as a teaser to Season 9 wouldn't have much impact. We think that Maria is in fact going to play Alpha, the leader of the Whisperers. She was never seen on set, but we believe these shots were done in secret and only meant to introduce her at the very end of the season. Bello has a strong demeanor and face and could easily pull off Alpha. We think there has already been at least one Easter egg to the Whisperers, and that Heath's disappearance and Carl's bite could just all tie in together. One big piece of news that got dismissed outright almost immediately worth exploring is Melissa McBride's appearance on the Fear the Walking Dead set.
I won't let you.
She was spotted by a woman dubbed Rachel D, and although Rachel's account of the events and cast was confusing and badly worded, it has been confirmed McBride was in fact on the Fear set in Texas. AMC has not commented on her appearance, and we think this is very strange. Comicbook.com has confirmed that she's not joining the cast for Season 4 of Fear, and that if she survives All Out War, she'll remain on The Walking Dead. But that doesn't kill the possibility of a cameo appearance or just a Morgan flashback with Carol. It's been speculated she was there visiting Lenny James, but Melissa lives in Atlanta. In her time off from an intensive shooting schedule right after the holidays, would she fly all the way to Texas to visit a friend in the middle of his own intensive shooting? We don't think so, and we believe AMC isn't commenting because it is in fact a Carol cameo or flashback, which would then confirm the time jump, which AMC still hasn't done, although we believe it's 99.999% going to happen. That leads us into our last bit of news, Robert Kirkman's comments from the 2018 Walker Stalker Cruise panel. Kirkman confirmed that Morgan's appearance on Fear would either be a time jump or happen between the Clear episode in Season 3 and when he returned in Season 5. Given the seemingly long amount of time spent with Eastman, revealed in Morgan's Here's Not Here flashback episode of Season 6, this option seems almost impossible. Kirkman went on to dispel some fan theories. First, he definitively stated that Madison from Fear is not Alpha, which has been a somewhat popular theory. Second, he confirmed that nobody in the Dead universe is immune to the virus. That includes Carl and shoots down a lot of fan theories out there. We don't think Kirkman would lie, but he did say this during the panel.
But maybe I'm lying. I've done that before.
To recap, we've learned without a doubt that Enid and Michonne make it to the hilltop. Eugene is back in action making bullets. Dwight somehow ends up with Simon. The mid-season premiere is a whopping 82 minutes, and Chandler bought a flamethrower. Thanks for watching our videos and supporting our channel. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Turn on the notification button for our channel so you can see our next video as soon as it comes out, and don't forget to subscribe.